We're excited to bring you one of the pioneers of Asian American marketing and advertising. He's the founder of the IW Group, which is now celebrating its 35th anniversary. They promote some of the biggest global brands for the AAPI community and beyond. I'm talking about Bill IMADA. Last year, he was inducted into the Advertising Hall of Fame. Here's our interview with Bill IMADA. Oh, and by the way, one of his favorite quotes is, "Information is only powerful if you share it with other people."
YOLK is back. YOLK is back. YOLK is back. YOLK is back.
Generation Next.
YOLK is back.
YOLK is back.
Welcome to YOLK.
YOLK is back.
And welcome to the OG YOLK Generasian Next podcast. I'm your host, Larry Tazuma. I'm here with Sommer Nguyen. Hi, Sommer.
Hi, Larry.
I'm
back.
so excited to introduce our next guest. He is the chairman of the IW Group. He is also the founder and the, how would you say it? The connectivity
officer, chief connectivity officer.
That is a unique title. I have not heard that one yet, to be honest. You are celebrating your 35th anniversary of the IW Group, and that is an amazing, amazing feat. Have you had time to reflect on that?
No, I actually haven't, because one day after another is busy, but I am reflecting on the fact that this program is an OG program. So that reminds me that I'm an OG. So
We're all OGs.
that's right. And we're proud of being OGs, right?
I know this is Zoe, but do you remember the YOLK Magazine at all?
Of course.
And I refer them.
Yeah. I mean, back in the 90s, it was awesome. So, and it really was a print kind of magazine, and it was ahead of its time in
Oh, thank
multiple ways. So,
I mean, I wasn't there, but yeah, thank you anyways.
yeah, you weren't born. So you're not really an OG. So.
Oh, no, thank you for remembering that, because, yeah,
He's still one of the former editors,
former editors.
original.
You know, I spent some time in Japan, and, you know, going to Japan as one Japanese American to another,
Mhm.
it's lovely, it's great, but there's this thing, I don't know, some nervousness. Japanese people are very harsh on themselves and on other people. How are you as a boss, and how are you as to yourself?
Well, growing up in a Japanese American household, you're always trying to be perfect. I think it's true for a lot of Asian American communities. Your parents want the best for you. They want you to have an income when you graduate from college. They want you to be able to, have a family and not worry about where that support's coming from. So that was instilled in me very, very early on. But this need to be perfect, I think, kind of made me a little kooky. Because I wanted to be perfect in the eyes of not only my parents, but also in the eyes of the community.
We use the word unique here.
Unique is a good thing, because that is something that is fairly unique, I think, to many Asian cultures.
Did they start you at 4?
Yeah, but no, they started me at 3.
One of your early goals was to sell part of the company, right? And you sold, I believe, 49% of the company.
Correct.
Does that mean you still own 51% of it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Good negotiating power.
Yeah. So part of the company, 49% of the company, was eventually sold to, it was Interpublic, is that right?
Yeah, well, actually, it was a company called True North.
Okay.
And then True North was actually acquired by Interpublic, and now it's going to this another phase, which is being acquired by Omnicom.
Omnicom, yes. I once worked for Omnicom as a DVD OS, so.
Oh, you're kidding. My God, that's amazing, because there are not that many Asian Americans that were in the advertising business when, I got into it. So you're obviously a pioneer.
But not a pioneer. You are the pioneer here in the room. Actually, I should have some full disclosure here. I do work for David and Goliath as
Software, one of the best.
They are one of the best, David, Angelo. And I also should make a full disclosure here. I have worked for one of your competitors, or many of your competitors. I love it.
My God.
I'm going to list them because, seriously, full disclosure, I've worked for Park Foster,
Awesome.
no longer in business. KNOS,
KNL West was our favorite competitor, one of our friendlies.
Kang and Lee, of course. 10 Advertising.
Then is a company that we actually helped start.
Okay. Hancon.
Pancom, oh my God, Pancom, that takes you back and takes me back.
I worked for them the longest, from 2000 to 2007. And IMADA Wong, or IW Group, has outlasted all of them, or bested all of them, I should say. And I have actually a question. When I was working for Canada West, there was a rumor, or there was a legend, that Elliot Kong had a conversation or a pact with you, that he would do advertising and you would stick with publicity.
We talked about that in the beginning, absolutely, because I think what Elliot and Kang and Lee wanted to do was make sure that, we didn't try to divide the pie up too much. And so K&L was frankly, the masters of advertising and marketing. And so when Elliot talked to me, he said, we're really strong in this area, but we really need a strong public relations arm. So it kind of makes sense for us to kind of play in our lane. And so, there was an agreement to do that. It wasn't really a pact. It was just a conversation. And the conversation was, you're right. We're never going to be strong in advertising or marketing. And Elliot said, we're never going to be strong in PR. So I think in the beginning, that's how it worked out. But then, the clients kind of change and shift things, because the client kind of says, well, we'd really like to work with K&L on something. K&L is working with our competitor. So, but we need an advertising agency. But I said there are plenty of others. There's Pancom, there's Intertrend, and a host of others. At the time, Lee Luan Tong, I don't know if you remember them.
Yes.
And so, but a lot of the companies actually had conflicts, in telecom or in banking or insurance. And those were the heyday periods when, a lot of companies were discovering that Asian Americans in particular were a critical market for them to grow and build their business.
These days, and I know from my experience working for Pancom, the festivals will come around, like, say, for instance, the Lunar New Year, and one of their big clients was AT&T. And so we would, half the staff would drop everything and go to the Lunar New Year Festival and start giving out promotions, right? So the line between advertising and promotions became very gray.
Yeah, and it became very, very gray, especially in our community, because I think a lot of the companies were still trying to figure out the Black African American community, the Latino Hispanic community, and then the women's market, and then the LGBT market was starting to emerge. And so Asian Americans were like, it's way too complicated for us. And so we'll give you this budget, but we want you to do everything. The advertising, the marketing, the promotions, the activations, the PR. And so that's how a lot of the agencies started, being a jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, yes. So I want to talk about what you did for McDonald's. I was really impressed by McDonald's. Actually, what was it? Maybe Christmas, you had the karaoke bus.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, with really good singers.
Really good singers. There was a 14-person choir. I think quite a few of them were influencers.
Well, of course, a lot of people are very interested in influencer, and who doesn't like spontaneous karaoke, right? So I thought, it's just a really crazy idea. And this is probably not the newest idea, because at one time, McDonald's did a campaign where they found the most talented person that worked at McDonald's, and many of them have these unknown talents. Like they can play an instrument or they can sing. And so we just saw that as an opportunity to kind of elevate something that, was actually created in Asia, but has really taken the country by storm. These little small karaoke bars and things, and bring out the talent. And we also noticed that a lot of social influencers have that talent. Right. So it made sense to do that.
So you got a lot of exposure, because that was like the return of the McRib. Right.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Right. Yeah, I actually went out to the Rose Bowl.
We ate it after the McDonald's promotion of all the Asian talent. I jumped into McRib, yeah.
Well, some people loved it and have some, a lot of nostalgia around it. But then there's also nostalgia on music and songs that people remember from the past. But but it also elevated an opportunity of what Asian Americans are creating in terms of music, food, lifestyle.
Right. So talking about influencers, I know that you're a fan or that you are a big supporter of the millennials and the Gen Zs, right? And you have some
Yeah,
sort
you
of
have a way
support.
to, yeah, sorry. You have a way to no offense to anybody, label them, but with such a kind attitude about it. It's like, it's almost like a title, CEO. Like it's this very, even though you're Gen Z, Gen X, whatever. And I don't find any offense to those titles actually. So I think it's amazing that you're able to do that and continue your attitude that was with this lifetime of your career.
Yeah, well, kind of started off with our interns. We had 7 interns in our office, and a number of these big Fortune 500 companies were sending me these reports. And they just kind of sat on my desk because they're lengthy, written by PhDs and, much smarter people than myself. And it was about millennials at the time. And one day I decided I should take these home and read it, and it'll be a really good way to put me to sleep. So I started reading these reports and I went, wow, this is really interesting. This company says millennials will never want insurance because they're never going to own a car because of Uber and Lyft. Or they're never going to have a home because they'll never going to be able to afford it. And banking, what's banking? And then the other report says millennials are really saving up for that home and that car. Millennials are really excited about, the need for being an adult and you have to get insurance. And I'm like, why does this report contradict this report and this report contradicts this report? And I was looking at who was writing these reports and, they're all brilliant people from various companies and think tanks and colleges. And I realized I'm asking the wrong person. So I gave it to the interns and I said, hey, I have a few reports for you to look at. Give me your thoughts on it. I'll give you a week. And for a whole week, they're in that room back there screaming and shouting or laughing and moaning. And after a week, I said, so what do you guys think about the reports? And they go, Bill, this report is so wrong.
Oh, wow.
And this report, we only have to 20% of this. This report is completely off. And I said, well, then say something about it. Speak up. And they said, we can't because the OGs like you, Bill, the boomers and the Gen Xers, you control the narrative. We don't.
Oh, man.
You're the ones that create these labels for us. You're the ones that do these reports. You're the ones that buy these reports from PhDs and think tanks. And you use them to influence companies. And I said, well, that's going to change. So 10 years ago, we started the National Millennial Community, which is now the National Millennial and Gen Z Community, to give them a voice and help advance them in complex problem solving.
You're going to have to add that, right? As the years go by.
We have to ask Gen Z. And I have to tell you, I'm learning a lot from them. They're teaching me more than any book or any class or any conversation. And it's expanded to 40 states. And it's not only Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, but it's Black, African American, LGBTQ, rural communities, non-Hispanic whites, Latinos.
Yeah, leaving communications open for everyone.
And it's helping us a lot to have our finger on the pulse of what inspires them.
So if I have questions about Snapchat or TikTok or Instagram, I could ask you those.
That's right, because they just told me things like, hey, Kiki, we're going to Kiki. And I went, okay, what is it? Even little gestures, like our team does this gesture. I don't even know what that means. And for the longest time, I didn't know what cap and no cap meant. I didn't know what Riz meant. Those terms are now kind of old. But this new generation of Gen Zers and Alpha are coming up with their own language. And it's important for us to know if we're going to be good for companies like McDonald's or Lexus, because we need to know what the lexicon is.
Oh, man, that's a hard language. I already know my own language. I have to pick up young language.
It's impossible to keep up because it's just changing so rapidly.
Right.
So there was this thing that happened. It was a viral moment during the whole Barden promotions. Now, was this discovered on accident? Somebody inside the office? It was the whole Ryan Gosling thing. Can you describe this?
I don't think I'm the best person to talk about that because I didn't work on that.
Yeah.
Probably Tammy will know more. There's somebody in the office paying attention to everything I'm doing, and she's sitting right there.
Yeah.
Name is Tammy. Thank you, Tammy.
Tammy. Well, Tammy's off camera, but I'll try to describe it. Jimin of BTS, young boy band fame. So he wore this cowboy outfit, this black cowboy outfit,
And guitar, guitar.
and he had a guitar. Well, so he wore this cowboy outfit. So Ryan Gosling, who played Ken in the Barbie movie, he also wore a cowboy outfit. Apparently, Jimin wore it first. And so somebody in this office, Tammy maybe, or somebody in this office.
It was a shared effort for our team. Okay.
Okay.
Shared perspective.
Shared perspective. Somebody spotted, someone with the eagle eye spotted it and said, "Whoa, we have an opportunity here to do a little promotion for Warner Brothers." Is that
Absolutely, and it was a spontaneous thing. You when you see an opportunity, you let the company know, and it's a very simple thing that doesn't cost much, and you take advantage of that. So, and there was an immediate connection, which, you already know that BTS is popular and they're going to be back together again. But they have an army, is what they call their fans, of people all around the world. And it's not just Asian Americans or Asian, but we're talking Black, Latino, white, mixed race. They have a fan base is just phenomenal. So doing something that connects the Barbie movie and Ryan Gosling, who's one of the stars of that movie, just made complete sense.
so? I mean, so a lot. It involves a lot of like social listening and a lot of these terms, right? I mean, but it took so little money, isn't that right, Tim?
It was earned. We just paid the chicken to Korea. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
and so many impressions,
Yeah.
right?
Shipping our team crossed, a couple of different beats, but our entire campaign ended up including this viral one that had over 2 billion impressions.
That's amazing.
And we're only a small part of it overall. So
Yeah. So in the end, I mean, that ended up helping the whole promotions of the Barbie movie for a certain segment of the.
Yeah, I know. I'm not part of this company, but you're welcome.
Yeah.
They should thank you guys.
Yeah, but Barbie was not only a team effort here, but other agencies and people were involved. But we took it to another level when the Asian American Journalists Association does their trivia bowl. We decided to dress up like the Barbie characters.
Oh, that's so cute.
So-
I wish I saw that image. With what you represent, with all the companies you represent, I found it amazing. Just as a side note, is that Christopher Reeve Foundation? Are you still? Oh my God, he's like my favorite Superman besides.
We're not represent them anymore, but we still keep in touch with them because this spinal cord industry is such an important thing, not only for Christopher Reeve and his family, but to try to find a cure.
Yeah.
When people do have these injuries.
Right.
Thank you, though. It's one of my favorites. It's Superman. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry to keep going on
Yeah.
McDonald's. I know you have many
No.
more clients.
Yeah, okay.
I just happened to be friends with Patrick and Tom, was the director of one of this.
Oh yeah, right. I just saw him yesterday.
Oh, okay. So one of the spots in question, he was very taken aback by the fact that Tai Ma was going to be the grandfather, I believe, of the spot. He was like, "Yeah, I don't know. Someone has a connection with Tai Ma."
Telly, or from our New York office.
Okay,
They're friends.
Telly.
They're friends, and they've been friends for a long time because they, kind of grew up in the same little neighborhood.
Okay.
And Tai Ma's, a fixture in the Chinatown community in New York, and so they were friends.
That's amazing.
It's nice of him to do it. Yeah.
And he's helped us on a number of things. I mean, when there was a rise in anti-Asian hate,
Right.
Telly went to Tai Ma and said, "Tai Ma, your generation, the people, in our community are being targeted, particularly older adults. Will you jump in and do this?" And he said yes. And a number of other celebrities jumped in to help us while the pandemic was happening, when we couldn't get people into studios. He was one of the first to say yes.
And how do you venture through that, the politics of also protecting the Asian community, being a communicator, as well as bringing your company into that foray of politics of protecting Asians and just like totally rights of everyone?
Well, for me, when the company was founded, the belief of the company is for every dollar you make, you have to give $2 back. And also, it's very important to me and the company that we get involved in the communities we represent and support. So we are on 30 boards and advisory councils, and that's very important to me personally. And I think it's also important to many people in the office, is that if we're going to ask the community for help, we need to do something to help the community, including communities that are not part of our community, the Black community, the Latino community, the LGBT community, women's community, even non-Hispanic white communities. It's important for us to uplift those communities.
Wow. You are on the board of CAPE,
Yep.
still, right? Also, were you on the board of PBS?
Yes, I was on the national board.
Uh-huh.
And
PBS is going to suffer.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
But because one thing I love about PBS is really well liked by every level of the community, not only Republicans and Democrats. It has a very high trust factor, but also independence. So it's one of the most trusted resources in the country. So it makes me sad that the budget was cut for them,
Right.
as well as NPR. But PBS is a resilient organization. It's got some very strong leaders,
Right.
and a very committed group of people all around the country. So I
hopefully
believe
they'll be
it'll survive.
Yeah. Because Sesame Street, but is that on PBS? Because I haven't watched it for years.
Sesame Street went to...
Yes.
Yeah.
Sesame Street is, it's got a different relationship with PBS now. So
Okay. But Mrs. Scarlet and the Duke is one of my favorite shows. It is on PBS. So there's a lot of mystery shows. Okay, go.
No. So I know that one of the things that your company does is crisis management.
Mhm.
So when the COVID, crisis came around, what did you tell corporations? What did you tell people about?
on the COVID thing here, we focused a lot on making sure that there was no scapegoating. And so we jumped right into action. And I have to say, Telly in our New York office was the first to get it started. He said, we need to do something because the public, when there's fear, they're going to look for an opportunity to point a finger at somebody. So he immediately got everyone on board to say, we need to do something. And at the time, there was a campaign that you should wash your hands for 20 seconds. So the campaign took that mantra on, not only wash your hands for 20 seconds, but wash away this idea of finding a scapegoat. So it's called Wash the Hate.
I like that one.
And so because we were in the office, because we had to cease a lot of things, Telly and team here had to kind of find a way to tape all these people that wanted to do something. And that's what happened.
Did you see this coming? This whole COVID, did you see this is how this is going to affect the Asian community?
Absolutely, because we've seen it happen before. History has a tendency to repeat itself. SARS is an example. When that happened, there was scapegoating. 9/11.
It's always some have to blame somebody. This was any misfortune that arises. I was wondering, you have one of the things that you did is that you were in Oregon, but then you made LA your home, or California. Was that a hard transition?
Yeah, so I actually came when I was a very young kid, but I never could understand why was our family in Eastern Oregon. Because every time I say Oregon, they go, oh, Portland is green and it's beautiful, or Eugene or Willamette Valley. I grew up in the desert side of Oregon, which I was born there. So, and my family moved there because, all the white farmers, we were, Asians at that time, I think, were the migrant farmers.
Yeah. That's an interesting occupation for your parents.
Yeah. And while everybody was going to camp, I think the people in Eastern Oregon were like, who's going to harvest sugar beets and the potatoes and the onions? All of our sons and daughters are fighting wars. And the Japanese American community said, we can do this. And so literally 1,500 families didn't have to go to camp and move to this area in Eastern Oregon. And ultimately, my family decided to stay there. And my brothers, my sister and I were born in the city of Ontario, which is right on the Oregon-Idaho border. And it actually has an Asian museum, and it has a Buddhist temple.
Oh,
wow. And so a lot of people don't know that. And a lot of people don't know that Japanese Americans, when they were on the farm says that what in the world is these people, the way they farm is incorrect. And we're going to teach you how to do this properly. So there's actually a plaque commemorating the support that Japanese American farmers provided to Eastern Oregon.
Gosh,
Amazing.
we're so good at everything.
Yes.
Business. Wow.
It just shows resilience, I think.
Yeah. No struggle is too hard. It just push forward. That's how it is. It's with your life, right?
Yeah, so I actually moved here as a very, very young child, and I think my brothers and sisters didn't want to move, and of course, I think that they thought there would be more opportunities for us in LA, so we moved out to LA.
Mm. So when AAPI month comes around, which is only 1 month, of course, a lot of us say, we can't just celebrate 1 month. And of course, your agency can't survive on just 1 month. So what do you tell people? What do you tell corporations?
No, what we tell them is, one thing that McDonald's does really well is that they celebrate, Black history 365 days a year. And so we kind of take that mantra as well. But there's so many other holidays that we can focus on, like Diwali, like Chinese Lunar New Year, like Lao and Thai New Year, like, Philippine Independence Day or Filipino Heritage Month. So we let people know that, we're celebrating Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander heritage year round, and there's always something to celebrate. But we've also been pushing Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders who have made it to kind of step out. And so I think this anti-Asian hate activity helped do that we should be really proud of what we've achieved instead of fight it. So
it's like the whole thing where they say if something bad happens, make something good out of it.
exactly. But it took a little educating with companies like, oh, what is Dragon Boat Festival? Oh, what is Mid-Autumn Moon Festival? What is Diwali? And so I think we felt that was our opportunity to educate people about what these celebrations are about and what they mean to not only Asian Americans, but to all Americans.
Right. I read recently that IW Group is getting more into the entertainment side of things.
Yeah, we're trying to get into entertainment. I've been trying to discourage everybody in the office. Oh, Tammy's sitting over here. So we're seeing that, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are in places that we were never in behind the scenes as directors or producers or showrunners. Now we're seeing the success of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in movies, in streaming, in short form content, in documentaries, as content creators.
Yeah,
exactly. And so the studios want to make sure that they're doing this right. And we see an opportunity to do that, that our community is the fastest growing community in the country. If you want to build share, not only in Asia, you need to build it here because we are the bridge. And so we were able to convince a number of companies that they should work with us to kind of elevate movies, even the ones that are not Asian themed, but might include an Asian actor or even people that aren't Asian American, but maybe has the theme that resonates with our community.
right.
I know.
And our entertainment team is very successful because the companies are coming to us a lot for a number of things: crises management, cultural consulting, uplifting not only Asian American and Pacific Islanders in our own media, but also in mass market media as well.
How do you say, said in another show that you said storytelling to story living. So you support storytelling, but you want people to live it too, just the way they.
Yeah, I think storytelling, we absolutely important for us to tell our stories because all of our stories are unique and we may have multiple stories. And it's important to make sure we elevate those stories. What I want people to do now is find the intersection between our stories and other communities, and then get people to not only live it,
coexist,
but do something with it.
Sure.
It's kind of like, somebody once said, and people say this often, it takes a village.
Sure.
But somebody finally said, well, if it takes a village, then why don't you build one? And that really hit home for me. He can tell all of our stories to each other and to the public, and people, oh, that's nice. But then if we don't do something with it, then to me it seems meaningless.
Right.
Take the stories, bring them to life, and get people to live it.
Okay, we gotta go
you've
with the fast
certainly-
version.
Built everything. You're going to do your 10 questions?
Yeah, but you want
Yeah.
it over here, right?
Sure. Well, before you do that,
Yeah, of course.
you certainly built a lot of different things. I mean, do you have anything in mind that you want to build next?
Oh yeah. I believe that, one thing that the community probably could be doing better is that, we're still trying to coalesce as an Asian American Pacific Islander community, but I also feel like we have an opportunity to reach out. So spending a lot of time and energy focusing on supporting the African American community, Latino community, LGBT community, women's organizations, Indigenous and Native American communities. And so that's one. The other area is that we've invested a significant amount of money on research around civility and civil discourse.
Oh yeah, that's the hardest.
And so that research is just coming out now that polled over 3,000 people around the country. What is civility? What does it mean to you? And the next step we hope is how do we bring this back to our country so that we can have more civil discourse? And I also believe that this is a superpower for Asian Americans because people say Asian Americans, they don't speak up. There are a few that do speak up, but I actually think that's a superpower. It's because we are amazing listeners.
Yeah.
And as amazing listeners, we can do something when they listen to understand. And then we're out telling our stories and finding our connections. So civility is the big thing right now for me.
Okay, so here's the 10 questions, sir.
10?
Yeah.
Tough.
Speed through, okay? Speed through.
That's all right. You don't have to speed through.
Favorite way to launch a campaign?
The favorite way to launch a campaign? Grassroots.
Yeah, that's what we are. Yeah.
Very, and
I'm glad you agree.
People don't necessarily say guerrilla, but I like to start off with, magazines and organizations that serve the community. People trust local media and media that addresses their community.
Interesting. Yeah.
So always focus locally, but think globally as people like Coca-Cola and a number of other companies say, but I do believe that you should start grassroots. And that's why we're so involved in the community, because if we're going to understand how to reach our community and other communities, then we need to be where people live, breathe, work, and play.
That's why he's here with us. Okay, coffee or tea?
Coffee and tea.
Okay. Sushi or yakitori?
Sushi.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Trek. Okay.
You have a favorite movie?
Baghdad Cafe.
Oh, interesting. I'm watching Strange New World. It has Chinese ensemble cast. Yeah, she's really good. Christina Chang. Okay, and audiobook or podcast?
Audiobook or podcast? Ooh, I like Morning Brew podcast. I like lots of things, but I actually prefer to read.
Okay.
That's it. Social media or experiential?
Experiential. Okay.
I don't even know what that is. Okay. Current hit or classic rock?
Classics.
Because I know you like Amy Winehouse. So
My God.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's deep. You're going deep on like her music is soulful. Current hit. Oh, sorry. What superpower would you pick if you had any choice?
Superpower, if I could pick,
That I don't have already.
End climate change.
Oh.
Like, that's a good one. What beach or mountains? You heard him liking nature, right? So okay.
Oh my gosh. Right now I'm liking Santa Fe and Napa. So I kind of like the both because Napa has a little bit of both. Has the mountains and it also has an estuary.
Right. And your beer.
Yeah. Wine, beer, a lot of good food.
No, if you had 3 things to bring in a box, if you had to escape, what would they be? And family's already a given. You don't want it.
What would be the 3 things in a box? Well, I think I'd read a really good book. So probably, it's going to sound like Lord of the Rings. Bring that whole thing. So maybe the Harry Potter books.
Oh my God.
Which I never read. So I'd like to read those. Sure. So probably those. I would bring a book. I would bring probably Carole King or Linda Ronstadt tapes.
Oh,
Nice.
oh my gosh.
And I'll probably bring Basically a lighter.
Okay.
Oh yeah, fire.
It's like in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
Here you go. I'm not a rice cooker though.
And
It's kind of hard to give up rice. So
I feel like your weapon of choice would probably be like listening and kindness. Yeah, you're protecting yourself. No,
Thank you very much, Bill Mata.
hey, no
So much
problem.
for
Yeah.
joining us on the
OG YOLK Generation Next podcast.
yeah, we gave him a shirt, guys. The YOLK shirt. Oh, sorry, coming up, Larry. YOLK shirt. Good. And as a gift to him.
On it got a rice cooker on it. A rice cooker.
Yeah.
I love it.
The thing is, though, I've never seen you wear a T-shirt, so I
I will wear a T-shirt underneath my jacket. But I wear this proudly.
yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry, we didn't have as much time with you. But because your time is so valuable, you're spread out like super thin with so many people and contributions. But we appreciate your time with it so much.
Anytime.
Yeah. Living legend,
And
Bill Mata.
best of luck for the next 35 years for IW Group. And,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well,
Congratulations, anniversary.
Thank you for saying that.
35 years.
I still have enough energy for another 35, so
Yeah.
probably be around. Or
Probably skating. Skating into the
That was
office.
awesome. Skateboarding.
Skateboard. You skateboard too?
I have a skateboard, but everybody says, will you not ride that skateboard in your office because we think you're going to get injured or you're going to injure somebody?
I would.
No.
I
All you
have a
to do-
skateboard in the office.
All you have to do is you need padding. All you need to do is pad your elbows and your knees and your butt. That's all you need.
Probably
And then
the
you
butt would be the best
Yeah,
place.
that's thank you. Thank you to Team OG YOLK and also our editors, Campbell Moonjung and CJ Bautista, who are all volunteers. Thank you very much. And yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time on the OG YOLK
Yeah.
Generation Next podcast.
There we go.
Stay tuned for the next episode. Pop the yolk and spread the love. Yolk is back.